Hello, my name is Mike Robin, and I'm a member of the Aware and Active Citizens of Merrill, also known as the AAC. We are an organization that tries to facilitate dialogue and education and engagement with the public on community topics. At the suggestion of Mayor Steve Haas, and together with the T.B. Scott Free Library and Merrill Community Media, the AAC would like to invite you to listen to voluntary candidate interviews for those individuals running for aldermanic positions in Merrill's 8 districts. All candidates, whether running unopposed or in contested races, were encouraged to participate. The one-on-one interviews will be conducted in an informal setting, and I will be the interviewer. Thanks for listening. So I'm here with Renea Frederick, who is a candidate in the 8th District, Aldermanic District for the City of Merrill. That 8th District does have a primary coming up on February 20th, and the top 2 candidates from that will go on to the general election on April 2nd. So thank you, Renea, for coming in and telling us a little bit about why you're running and some of the things that you see looking forward for the 8th District. And why don't we start out and just tell me about Renea Frederick.
Well, my name is Renea Frederick, born and raised in Merrill, Wisconsin. I am a co-owner of Free Mark Innovations here in Merrill. I have a wonderful, talented son and a beautiful daughter-in-law named Annette, and a granddaughter, Lily, who we spoil as much as we possibly can.
Okay. And over time, you're an 8th District resident. Told us a little bit about yourself. Renea, what qualifications or skills or parts of your background do you think you bring that makes your race for alderman, alderperson so viable?
Well, when we started our business, we started from scratch. Honestly, we had very little to start with, and we worked until it is now a multi-million-dollar national company. So to get to that point, you do a lot of business plans. You work with a lot of attorneys. You work with accountants. You work with customers. I've applied for and received SBA loans and economic development loans. We now have 7 patents, so I'm familiar with the patent process. We are also a certified business venture business, which means I work with angel investors. We have angel investors for our company. We have also took an old building, the old Ward paper mill, repurposed it, and turned it into a wonderful office and manufacturing building. So with all that experience, I have a good network of thoughts and people that I can rely on.
That is, that business development is so important for cities going forward. And I know that isn't, although that's your day and night job, I know you've also committed yourself to working within the city, and you actually have some background working in city government positions or on committees or whatever. Want to share any of that with us?
I have been on the board of the Merrill Chamber at one time, the UW Extension Marathon County. I am part of the AAC, and I was the former president of the Merrill Foundation.
And not only that, but I know I'm aware of that. You've successfully been a member of the Merrill School District, been a board member, so you have been involved in a lot of outside interests besides just helping your husband with this very successful business.
Yes, we care about Merrill, so I get involved in many different things. This is our home. We want to keep it a home for our future, for our Lily that's coming in, and we want to make it the best place it can be. And
okay.
Merrill has a ton of assets, and I would like to help get those assets to start paying off a little bit better.
Well, that kind of goes right into a third question I have for you, Renee. And with that background and again, the skill sets you have, and looking forward, a couple challenges that the city of Merrill needs to address and deal with as it looks forward. Yep. What do you think on that?
Well, number one right now is workforce. We need to bring more people here. We need to keep them here. I think to do that, housing is the issue, both, if you want to say, from all levels, from all values, price range. And the other, I think an idea we could use is going back to our alumni. People who have graduated, we need to re-engage them into what's happening here and see if they may want to come back. The other one is we need to support our entrepreneurs. I think they bring the new, fresh ideas that gives us that competitive advantage.
So it's bringing the young people in, and also that affordable, almost the building blocks that every small town needs just to get started and push forward. Yes. Another issue that's been mentioned a couple times that I think the community faces, and I'd be interested in getting your thoughts on it, is affordable childcare. Yes. And how does that fit in, as you said, workforce development?
Right. Well, I'm in favor of supporting, as our business would support a private-public, if you want, daycare situation support. I don't know what that looks like exactly yet, but yeah, we need to look at all levels. And even we were talking about, because I'm involved with Pinecrest, and they're looking for more RNs, right? Mm-hmm. So you have the CNAs, and I'm sure there's many who would like to move up to that next step. But time, and especially if you've got kids, time and money are the issue. So if we can figure out a plan to support them by providing them childcare while they go back and get their RN, and maybe some scholarships on the way. And this way we support them economically, but we also support Pinecrest or other businesses if we use the same scenario for other things. Like we have engineers, we use the work to school program. We start them out in juniors, and now they graduate from tech, and they stay with us that whole time.
Sure, sure. So, as being the aldermanic representative of the 8th District, and the 8th District, I think, as generally we know, is, I'm going to say, on the north side of the Wisconsin River, on the east side of town, is generally that. Are there any specific issues or challenges or ideas that might pertain just to that 8th District that you would like to see advanced, or what needs to be done there?
The former Sumco building is sitting empty there with quite a bit of acreage. I just see it as such an opportunity for the right person to come in and do something grand with it. I would love to be part of it. I think there could be housing down there. There could be kayak and canoe rentals. It could be an entertainment center. It could be office space. It's a big, wonderful old building, and I like old buildings and redoing things with them. But I see that as such an opportunity right along the river. I think it can be a gold mine.
And of course, one of the great, I think, wonderful things that have happened in the city is the development of the Riverbend Trail. Mm-hmm. And obviously that goes right through your district and continues on, and such an advantage, I think, that we need to take help with.
I do walk it quite often. quite often. I have a black lab. So
it's I think it's about a half a block from where you're where you live.
I could see it from my house.
So, and then list of things to look at, history of being involved or whatever. Something about an accomplishment. Obviously, the aldermanic position is a 2-year position, but if there was one idea or aspect that you really like to focus on that you'd feel really good after a 2-year stint as an alderman, what might that be? An accomplishment you'd like to really work forward to?
I would love to see a development of an entrepreneur small business center, a place where folks could go to discuss starting a business, to help grow their business. There is a lot of information out there, and it's hard to get to on your own. So if you have somebody there to help you, figure out how to figure out your financials for the banks, to apply for these loans, apply for grants, there's the SBA, there's WDC, there's cities, there's economic, there's a lot of information out there, but it is hard if you're trying to start a business and look for that information. So if you have somebody there to help you through that process, it'd make it a lot easier to do. And I know because there wasn't that place when we started our business, so
Sure.
There was, I made a lot of phone calls to a lot of different places to get
Got to work
information.
really hard behind the scenes to put it together, a lot of elbow grease, and it's a
process.
It's a process. It's not a quick
Yep.
journey.
No.
And
And entrepreneurs usually have this great idea, or even small business owners, how they want to grow. But it's all that back room stuff, to file the right taxes, file the right form. What's the bank looking for financials? And if somebody can help provide some of that and let the entrepreneurs build their ideas,
sure.
that's success then.
Just your thoughts on obviously working with the city having to provide services and yet deal it with limited resources, i.e. a budget that you have to work with. Your philosophy on that, services needed to be provided, limited resources, a budget.
Value. So, you need to invest, and what value do you get for that, right? I'm trying to think of a good example as far as, and then, the city government agencies are not there to make profit. They are there to provide services that otherwise we can't provide. The roads, nursing
Right.
homes, those kinds of things. So ask me the question again. So
Well,
that's I guess
it's always one of the
strategy.
challenges that I've asked kind of everyone. You don't have an unlimited pot of money.
Right.
You've got mandated services that the citizens require, and how do you put those in perspective? I think you used the word balance, and that's probably it.
And value, right? And so we need to look at each one. Say, I'm going to use the fire station. I do not know, and we have worked with UW Stout. And what we have done in the past is what they call value stream mapping. So you look through all your processes, see where there's no value, where it's just waste. And I think that might be a process that help save tax dollars. That'd be like one strategy I would use.
Sure.
But it's figuring out what we have to have and how to get the most value out of that without costing any more.
Sure.
Or we need to invest sometimes to make it better down the road.
And that's kind of the prism that as each issue comes up, you can look through that
Right.
as you make your decision.
But sometimes you do have to spend a little money to make it better for the next 15 years too. So.
Well, I think that's an interesting philosophy. I think that answers a lot of the questions I have, and I think it gives us an opportunity to better know Renea Frederick, candidate for the 8th District, primary coming up on February 20th, with the general election on April 2nd. So thank you, Renea, very much for taking the time to talk to us today and giving us your thoughts.
Thank you.